Hey YouTube, I just wanted to make this video because Andrew sent me a video to this site here about Masonic Symbols Australia harp. Now in here, he is linking the alignments of harp, I believe, the different places of harp up into the stars. Unfortunately, they don't really speak. Oh, and then Washington, D.C. and stuff. But unfortunately, they don't speak, and so I'm not really exactly sure the thought process. But one of the things in it made me decide to go and mess around a little bit within Blender and then just share the designs with you. Now, anybody who already knows this stuff, the geometry, and they're good at math and all that other stuff, they might already know all this. But for a lot of us, we don't, and including myself, so I decided to make a video so we could share it together. Maybe learn some interesting shapes and designs that come out of the compass and square. I also would like to point out really quick before we start looking at the shapes. I hate to say really quick because you know my computer, it can be a bit slow at times, but hopefully I just want you to know, and I think I mentioned it before, but the compass and square, they do recognize them up in the constellations too. So here we have our compass, our square, our triangle, and the altar of God. Also, and so right down in here, so Norma and Triangulum, and I can't even see it right now, but Cercinus or something. Now they're down in the south, so North America, we don't even see it. Really, I don't think we see much of them at all. Yeah. Yeah, they pretty much stay south, so that's for the equator in Australia, they'll see it. Alright, but for us also, if we go up to Ursa Major here, and we go to the front star of the cart, and we draw a direct line to the pole star, and then we were to mark the seasons, it would form a type of swastika. I just want you to see that. So here's the front star, and then you trail it to the Ursa Minor, the North Star, the Polaris, and then you mark the seasons, and that's the design you get. So anyways, let me just shut that, and that way you just know that those few little things. And in the video, we can see that at the Harold Holt Naval Communications that they're showing, that inside there is the star, the cube. So he starts marking, or they start marking it out within it. And then they start with putting a compass square for the Masons within it. And in the end, when they're done, they form the cube, and then they put the Y in it to finish it off. So for the heck of it, I decided to come and build a compass and square, and I tried to keep it, you know, to the right dimensions. Hold on. Whoops, wrong one. Okay, there we go. All right, so I just want to show you that. I'm not going to say it's flawless or anything, but it's pretty dead on here for the most part. A little bit tiny. Let's see, we could even take this section here and go like this, and we could even, just to make sure that it's dead on. There we go. All right, and then now we'll just leave it like that. Okay. So now we have our yellow for the compass and our blue for the square. And we're going to make sure that the origin is to the center. And then we're going to make sure that the origin, yeah, there we go. So just so you know, I've set the origin, that little bullseye. And I'm sorry if you're colorblind or have a hard time seeing it. I can't use a different background, and I didn't want to make an animation because that would take forever. So it's just a lot easier for me to just talk to you off the cuff as usual. So here we go. So let's check out all these many different varying designs we get out of just the compass and square. And so what we're really going to do is we're going to go ahead and rotate the first time 180, then we're going to grab it all, rotate it all 90, grab it all, rotate it all 45, grab it all, rotate it 22.5, and sometimes we'll grab it all, rotate it 11.25. Forgive my ignorance in math and certain things in my dialogue. I did not do well in math because I switched schools 16 to 18 times and never really got to settle into learning. And the older I got, the less important I seem to think certain maths were. But the more I get into wanting to learn to build things or whatnot, the more I realize there are certain types of math I need. But anyways, forget all that. I'll get on with this. Okay. So let's go ahead and duplicate. Rotate 180. And now we already have a familiar design in the background with a square. Now we're going to select it all. Duplicate. Rotate 90. Now we're going to select it all. Duplicate. Rotate 45. That might look familiar. Duplicate. Well, did we duplicate? Hold on, I might not have. Okay, yeah. Rotate 45 and then select all. Duplicate. Rotate 22.5. That looks pretty wild. Okay. So we're going to take all that back. And that was at the center origin. So now we know that the pivot point was at the center. Let's make sure we only have one. We don't need two of them. There we go. Okay, now let's put it to the very top. So we'll go to the very tippy top. Now, of course, we could go anywhere along these edges and come up with all kinds of designs. But we're just going to pick some like ones that might be key pivot points. All right, so the very tippy top. All right, so now we're gonna make sure we apply to that origin. So now we can see that that is. All right, and then Control Duplicate, Rotate 180, select all, Duplicate, Rotate 90, Duplicate, Rotate 45. Zoom in a little bit for you. Duplicate, Rotate 22.5. And then let's duplicate, Rotate 11.25. Check that out. Okay, now we're going to... Looks like a saw blade inside there. Okay, so we're gonna Z that out. So that was the very top. Make sure we only have one. All right, now let's put it on the inside. Okay, transform origin to the inside. So now we're on the inside of the compass. Okay, and let's duplicate, rotate 180, duplicate, rotate 90. Now we have a star within the square. Duplicate, rotate 45. Duplicate, rotate. That looks familiar. And then just for the heck of it, interesting. Okay. So that was on the top inside. Let's make sure we only have one. All right. Let's go to the inside of the blue and set that to the origin. Duplicate, rotate 180. Duplicate, rotate 90. Duplicate, rotate 45. Select the, whoops. Duplicate, rotate 22.5. And then just to see, duplicate, rotate 11.25. Check that out. Okay, so that was at the bottom. So let's go back. It's kind of cool seeing how this all forms. Okay, so now shouldn't be that much of a difference. So I'm going to skip going to the, well, all right, we'll do it anyways really quick. Some people are really into just sitting and watching stuff, and so, who knows, so we'll go ahead and just add it really quick. It won't take that long. Get rid of the extra one. Okay, duplicate, rotate 180. I'm just thinking it's not going to be that much difference. Duplicate, rotate 90. Duplicate, rotate 45. Duplicate, rotate 22.5. Rotate 11. Yeah, it's about the same thing. Okay, so that's what I figured. Okay, now though, let's go down a little farther, right between. So what would be about the middle point on the very tip of the compass? Between the tips of the compass. That's about as exact as I can get right now. So let's set the origin point to there. And then I think that's the only one we have, right? No. Should have checked that first. Okay. So duplicate, rotate 180. Duplicate, rotate 90. Oh, see, now by just moving it down that extra, now we actually get a crossroads in the star. So we get an open cross or a crossroads in there. Okay, so then duplicate, rotate 45. Oh, that looks pretty wild. Check that out. Duplicate, rotate 22.5. Now it looks like a weaved ribbon all between each other. Duplicate, rotate 11.25. And check out that one. So that forms a really interesting and that was by putting the origin right between the imaginary line between the lower compass points. Okay, so let's try this over here. Let's try the left side. Right about there. Okay, so object transform. And now we're gonna duplicate, rotate 180. I probably should have made sure. No, yeah, hold on. I didn't make sure that I only had one yet. Okay, object transform. Okay, duplicate, rotate 180. Oh yeah, I'm glad I thought to try this one. Duplicate, rotate 90. Check that out. Duplicate, rotate 45. Now it's starting to look like a machine. It can just chew things up. Duplicate, rotate 22.5. Duplicate, rotate 11.25. Check that out. Okay, so there's some interesting designs that happen from all of this. And I appreciate you sitting here learning it with me if you haven't seen these before. So now we're going to do the halfway mark approximately on the square outer edge. Okay, so let's make sure we only have one. Alright, now let's set the origin to the cursor. Now our origin is on the outside edge halfway. Okay, now anybody who, some of you guys might already know this one. Control D, rotate 180. Control D, rotate 90. And now we get our swastika within another symbol. Then duplicate, rotate 45. Duplicate, rotate 22.5. Duplicate, rotate 11.25. That looks like I could just march through a field and just chew the heck out of everything up. Don't mind my silly commentary. I'm just like looking at this. Okay. All right. And then let's just do one on the inside, and then we'll finish up with one more on the outside. Just out of curiosity, let's do inside here. Let's make sure we only have one, and we don't. Alright, object, transform 3D cursor to there, and then duplicate, rotate 180. Duplicate, rotate 90. Now we have a square, a swastika form design, and a cross. Duplicate, rotate 45. Duplicate, rotate 22.5. And duplicate, rotate 11.25. Check that out. Okay, now if we go back again, and then we'll just do this last one. And I thank you for watching this with me and learning with me. I'm just kind of was like, I'm curious what different forms we'll get if we just play with the compass and square. in rotations, and just circular rotations. So let's make sure that's the only one. And transform, make sure our cursor is there. I'm thinking, no, we need to go just a little bit more right there. Why not? It's the last one. Let's try to get it a little bit close. Okay. All right, so there. All right. So duplicate, rotate 180. Duplicate, rotate 90. Duplicate, rotate 45. Duplicate, rotate 22.5. Duplicate, rotate 11.5. Whoops. Rotate 11.25. There we go. Check that out. Okay, so anyways, thank you for watching with me. I just wanted to share the many varying shapes that form when you rotate the compass and square, including the swastika. But we also see that that is in the stars. And anyways, you have a good night, you two. Bye.